This is going to blow your mind. The air hung heavy with dust. The antique shop was crammed with forgotten treasures. Each piece held a story whispered from the past. At the back, shrouded in shadows, stood a mirror. The mirror was tall and slender, framed in tarnished silver. Its surface was clouded, obscuring its reflection. Intricate patterns, barely visible, swirled across its frame. It seemed to pulse with a life of its own, beckoning those who dared to look closer. A young woman named Sarah entered the shop. She was drawn to the mirror, her fingers tracing the cold, smooth glass. Its touch sent shivers down her spine, a mixture of fear and fascination. She had to have it. The shopkeeper warned her. "Be careful, young lady," he rasped, his voice hoarse. "That mirror has a past. Some things are best left undisturbed." Sarah dismissed his words as superstitious nonsense. She paid for the mirror, its weight surprisingly heavy in her arms. Excitement bubbled inside her as she carried it home, eager to see it in her newly renovated room. The mirror, now cleaned and polished, gleamed in the soft light of her bedroom. Its surface, no longer clouded, reflected her image back at her. But something was different. Her reflection seemed sad, her eyes filled with a deep, unsettling sorrow. It was as if the mirror held a secret, a dark and terrible truth. Days turned into nights. Sarah found herself drawn to the mirror, spending hours gazing at her reflection. She noticed subtle changes, fleeting glimpses of movement in the periphery of her vision. One night, a cold draft swept through the room, chilling her to the bone. The mirror's surface rippled, distorting her reflection into a grotesque caricature. A whisper, soft and low, seemed to emanate from the mirror's depths. Fear coiled in her stomach, a knot of dread tightening with each passing moment. She tried to look away, to break free from the mirror's hypnotic gaze, but it was too late. The mirror held her captive, its pull irresistible. The whispers grew louder, morphing into distinct words, then sentences. They spoke of a life trapped within the mirror, a soul seeking release. The shadowy figure in the reflection grew more defined, its form taking shape. Terror, raw and consuming, seized Sarah. She tried to scream, but no sound escaped her lips. She was paralyzed, her body frozen in place by an unseen force. The figure in the mirror smiled, a cruel, mocking grin that sent shivers down her spine. It reached out from the mirror, its long, slender fingers brushing against her cheek. Their touch was icy cold, draining the warmth from her body. Sarah thrashed against her invisible bonds, her heart pounding against her ribs like a drum. She had to escape, she had to get away from the mirror's grasp. But how? Panic surged through her, making it impossible to think clearly. The figure was getting closer, its eyes burning into hers. With a surge of adrenaline, Sarah lunged for the mirror, her hands slamming against its cold, smooth surface. She cried out, her voice echoing in the silent room. But it was no use. The mirror held her fast, its grip unbreakable. The shadowy figure lunged, its arms encircling her in a cold, suffocating embrace. Sarah screamed again, her voice swallowed by the mirror's depths. She felt a sharp, pulling sensation, as if her body was being stretched thin, elongated. Then silence. The room was still, the air no longer charged with fear. The mirror hung on the wall, its surface reflecting the empty room. But something had changed. Sarah's reflection remained, her face frozen in a mask of terror. The mirror, now back in the antique shop, stood in the same shadowy corner. Its surface was once again clouded, obscuring the secrets it held. But if one looked closely, they could see a faint outline, a ghostly image of a young woman, her eyes wide with fear, trapped forever within its depths. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe for more interesting videos.